Hey out there and welcome. I'm Kate and this is one of my absolute favorite classes to teach. It's a little more challenging, but not in the traditional kind of throw your foot behind your head way. It just challenges us a little more physically. I've ditched my mat today. We are going matless and we are going to find some socks. So grab yourself a thicker pair of socks. Find a slippery surface. If you are on a carpet, grab a couple of paper plates. They're gonna slide underneath your feet and we're gonna use them. It may make it a little tricky, but we can make it work. We can always make it work. Did I say blocks? Because if I didn't, grab some blocks or something that you can actually lean some weight into as we move into some of these transitions. You may want to make your arms a little longer. Get all of that stuff together. If you haven't already, find a quiet spot. Don your socks, and I'll see you in a few. All right, so we're gonna start on our backs. So go ahead and lay down. Hopefully you're not in the freezing cold Northeast and your floor isn't super cold. If you're going down and it feels like you're, in the Arctic, you can always grab a blanket and lay on the blanket to start. It's a little cold in here, but we're gonna manage. So from here, just gonna let yourself relax. If your low back feels tight, just gonna bend your knees and you can keep your feet flat on the floor. Let your knees drop in toward each other. And take a few breaths here. If your eyes can close comfortably, you can let your eyes close. And breathe. Feel yourself soften a little more with every exhale. I like to just take a moment before I start to practice to kind of make a pause in the day. I start to shift into my practice. So whatever came before this moment, see if you can let it dissolve. Whatever that needs to be done after, let that stay where it is in the future. And enjoy your breath here. Take a breath in. When you exhale, you're just gonna slide your feet in, draw your knees into your chest, and maybe make a couple circles or rock side to side. Take your arms out to the sides and let both knees fall over to the right. Let your gaze shift over to the left. And when you inhale, you're gonna bring your head back through the middle and straighten your legs over to the right. And then you're just gonna slide them down. So you're kind of laying straight out again. When you exhale, you're gonna hug your knees back into your chest. Inhale here. And when you exhale, let your knees drop over to the left. And we're gonna hang in our twist here. So just let yourself kind of relax into this twist. Then inhale, you're gonna straighten your left legs. Straighten your legs and sweep them down and around, kicking the blocks. Draw those knees in. Exhale, drop them over to the right. Inhale, extend them out and sweep them around. Exhale, pull them back into center. Drop them over. Inhale, straighten them out. Exhale, sweep them down and around. And then drag them in. Exhale, over to the right. Inhale, straighten your legs. Last time, exhale, bring them down and then in. And last time over to the left, let them fall, straighten them out and sweep them around until you draw your knees back into your chest. Give them a hug. And then from here, you're gonna take your hands behind your thighs. You're just gonna slowly roll yourself up. Cross your ankles, you're gonna plant your hands onto the floor and just kind of slide your legs back, finding a table And hopefully your knees don't feel too tender here. If they do, you can grab a couple of dish towels to put underneath. We're not going to be here for too long, but we're going to roll through a couple of rounds of cat and cow. Just 3. And exhale and round. One more, inhale. And exhale and round. Come back to your neutral spine. You're going to take your right leg and just kick it straight back behind you. And then sweep it out to the right, sliding it back behind you. Sweep it over to the left. Just a little half circle, sweep it behind and out to the right. Just warming up that hip, back behind and sweep to the left. One more, coming out. And then behind and over to the left. And then straight back, gonna come up onto your fingertips and slide your right leg through, tuck your left toes and lift your left knee. And we're just gonna hang here for a moment. And then slide your left foot forward to meet your right, coming into Uttanasana. And here's what it looks like with blocks. Not that you need to be told that, but, and then you're gonna slide your right leg back, kind of rewinding. Lower your right knee. And then slide your left leg underneath you and straight back. And you can keep the blocks under your hands if you prefer it that way. We're gonna sweep it out to the left and then over to the right and out to the left and over to the right. One more, out to the left and over to the right. And sweep it straight back behind you. Drag your knee into your chest. Step that left foot forward. Tuck your right toes. Lift your right knee. And we're going to come back into Uttanasana, sliding this right foot to meet the left. And fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold again. Press into your feet. Come all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale. When you exhale, drag your hands down through prayer. Samasthiti. Inhale, come out and up. Exhale and dive over your legs. Another Uttanasana. Halfway lift. You can use those blocks underneath your hands. Exhale and fold. So now if you've got the blocks, you're just going to kind of move them to the side, right? Plant your hands. If you need to super bend your knees, that's cool. You're going to come onto the balls of your feet, and you can go both feet or one at a time if that's easier. We're going to come onto the balls of the feet, shift your weight into your hands, and start to slide your feet back, coming into plank. All right? If that seemed super impossible, you're just going to shoot your right leg back and shoot your left leg back. We come into plank, right? From here, you're going to drag your right knee toward your right tricep, slide it back into plank. Right knee to the right tricep, slide it back into plank. One more. Right knee to right tricep, slide it back to plank. Then you're gonna slide your right leg all the way through into pigeon. Let that left leg sneak back behind you. You can tuck or untuck your back toes. Inhale here. And when you exhale, come out and over. If you wanna grab one of your blocks or one of your props and let your forehead rest for a second, we can do that. Try to relax your shoulders and breathe. One more breath. And slide your hands underneath you. Come on up. So you're going to rock onto your outer right hip and then spin yourself around. So we end up in a wide leg V. Boop, boop, boop. Inhale here. And when you exhale, you're just going to fold out and over. Little Upavista Konasana. Try to keep your low back long and straight. Feet flex, extend energy through your heels. And then slide your hands underneath you. We're going to spin back into our pigeon toward that right leg. So we're going to kind of slide around, drag your leg underneath you, plant your hands, tuck your back toes, lift your left knee, and we're going to slide back into plank, into the left side, right? Inhale. When you exhale, left knee to left tricep. Inhale back. Exhale to that left tricep. Try to keep your hips high as you go back. One more time. Squeeze it in. And then kick it back. And then pigeon. Sweep it up. and around. You can let that right leg sail back behind you. Inhale here. And when you exhale, come out and over. Give yourself a few breaths. If your back knee's killing you on this hard surface, you can always bend and tuck your back toes. It takes some of the weight off the top of your knee. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders. They're going to come on up. Drop onto this outer left hip. Boop. And now you're going to stretch your legs out. Weight on both sitting bones. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, same deal. We're going to come out and over. Try to keep the tops of your thighs rooted down and energy stretching through your heels. Think about your chest lengthening up and then out and over. And breathe. This is as deep as my body folds. If you want to go deeper into it, you absolutely can. If this feels impossible, you can always take your hands behind you and just rock toward the front of your sitting bones and lift into your chest, and this can be it. This is a tough one. All right, we're going to come back into pigeon, left leg forward. So spin yourself around to the left, slide it back underneath. Now we're back through pigeon, hands under your shoulders, lift your right knee, float yourself back into plank. And then from here, we're going to come into a downward facing dog, which is a little more challenging than it seems. You have to kind of come into a shorter dog. So the feet slide a little closer in. You're going to feel your heels root down and back as you press into your hands. And then rock forward so your shoulders come over your wrists and start to shift your weight even more forward. So you come toward your fingernails, right? You're going to bend your knees and see if you can pull your low belly in and up, and we're going to drag the feet in, Uttanasana. We're just going to do a couple of those, right? So bend your knees, plant your hands, shift your weight toward your fingernails, come onto the balls of your feet, one leg at a time or both legs at the same time. We're going to come back into downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward. Bend your knees slightly, shoulders slightly forward to the wrists. We're going to pull forward and fold, Uttanasana. One more. Shifting, come onto the balls of your feet. One leg at a time, or both, find your plank. And then once again, drag your knees in, Uttanasana, fold. While you're here, you're going to swing your hands behind your low back, interlace your fingers, and stretch your knuckles back, shoulders away from your ears, and breathe. Inhale. And when you exhale, release your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Press the floor away. Come all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. And hands down through prayer. Okay? So now from here, you're going to grab your blocks. If you've got them and you want them, you can always just use hands on the mat. I'm going to show the first side with blocks. Okay? So we're going to come to Tadasana. Blocks just at a hand's distance so we know where we are here. Right? Inhale, take your arms and reach them up. Exhale and dive forward. Halfway lift. And Uttanasana. Grab those blocks if you want them. You're going to shift your weight into your left foot. Let's do your left foot first. Slide your right leg back, coming into a nice long lunge. Inhale. And when you exhale, we're going to drag the leg in, Uttanasana. Inhale, stretch it back, lunge. Exhale, pull it back in as you drive your left foot into the floor. One more of those. Inhale, rock back, lunge. Exhale, pull it forward. Now we're going to add on, staying on that left foot. You're going to slide your right leg back, coming into your lunge. And then pull your low belly in, lift your hips. We're going to take this right foot now and kick it through. Come onto the ball of your left foot. And then lift your butt, sweep your leg back, come into your lunge. And again, drag the leg in from the pit of your stomach and sweep it forward. Okay, one more. Pull it up and drag back. Low belly lifts in and up like you're pulling from your core, and you actually are. Drag yourself all the way through. Take your butt to the ground. Janu Shirshasana, let your left knee drop out to the side. Inhale, lengthen up. And when you exhale, let yourself fold out and over this right leg. And check out your head, your neck. Inhale slowly, you're gonna round yourself back up. All right. Here we go. You're gonna take your left foot back onto the floor. You can slide your hands back, slide your blocks back. Gonna push into your left foot, drag this right leg back through, coming into your crescent or your lunge one more time. And then drag it in and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and release. Press the floor away. Come all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Hands down through prayer. Okay, let's do it again on the left side. Inhale, come out and up. Exhale and fold. Halfway lift, lengthen out. Grab your blocks if you want them. You're gonna shift your weight to your right foot. Slide your left leg back. I'm gonna show you what it looks like without the blocks. I have to be high on my fingertips. So we're gonna stay on the fingertips. Okay, inhale. And when you exhale, drive through your right heel, pull that left leg back. Inhale, slide it back. Exhale, pull it through, or pull it forward, Uttanasana, not through yet. One more, slide it back. And drag in, boom, okay. And then drag it back. Lunge, lift your low belly, slide it in, and then slide it forward. Little pistol squat, shoot the duck kind of thing, right? Low belly lifts, slide this left leg through. Lunge, press into your right foot, lift up, coming back through your squatty thing. And then up through the hips and back into your lunge. And then one last time, swing it up and through. This time butt comes to the ground. It does not have to be graceful now or ever. Janu Shirshasana, right knee bonks out to the side. Stretch some energy through the sole of your left foot. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, come out and over. And breathe. Nice long spine. One more breath. Then inhale slowly, round yourself up. You're gonna take your hands and your blocks back behind you a bit. Come back onto your right foot. This might be where it gets ugly. Press the floor away, lift your hips, push into that right heel. Here we go, drag it back. Yeah, into your lunge, and then pull it forward, Uttanasana, and fold. Halfway lift, and let it go. Rise up, Urdhva Hastasana, inhale, come on up. And hands through prayer. Okay? All right, so we're gonna do kind of the same thing, but from staying upright, right? Inhale, take your arms up. When you exhale, we're gonna come into chair pose. Shift your weight to this left foot. You're gonna lift onto the ball of the right foot and slide it back, coming into crescent lunge. Gotta keep the legs scissoring as best you can. Inhale. When you exhale, shift your weight forward, coming back into your chair. Two more. Ready? Shift onto the left. Slide that right leg back. Crescent. Drag it back in, driving through that left foot. Chair. One more. Slide that right leg back. Oh. And then come on up. And chair. Inhale. When you exhale, let it go. Halfway lift. And downward facing dog. Plant your hands one leg at a time, both. Slide those feet about 3/4 of the way back into your dog. Feels so good. And then come forward into your plank. When you exhale, untuck your toes, lower your knees, your thighs, shoulders down away from your ears, elbows in. We're gonna lower all the way down. Inhale, curl up, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Slow and controlled movements. Shift your weight forward toward your fingertips. Soften your knees. Slide those legs in. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Press into the floor. Come on up, Urdhva Hastasana. Hands come to prayer for a second here. Feel your shoulders relax. Okay? Inhale out and up. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Here we go. Gonna shift onto this right foot. Slide that left leg back. Crescent lunge. Root into that right heel. Drag it in. Chair. And crescent lunge. Slide that left leg back. Chair on your inhale. Try to stay low through your hips. I know it's burny. One more time, slide it back. And then slide it forward. Chair, inhale here. Exhale, and fold. Halfway lift. All right, bend your knees, plant your hands. You can take them a little bit forward. It makes the transition easier. Shift back. Plank this time. All right, from here, you're gonna take your right knee, cross it to your left tricep, and back. Left knee to the right, and back. Right knee to the left, and back. Left to the right, and back. One more. Right, and left. Slide your feet a little closer. Downward facing dog. From here, shift your shoulders toward your fingertips. Grip the floor. Like basketballs on the floor. Soften your knees. Drag it in, Uttanasana. Grab opposite hand to elbow. And relax. Release those hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Press the floor away. Come all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana. And slide your hands down through prayer. Okay, so we're gonna add a little bit here. You ready? Good, because I'm not. You can be ready. You be ready for me. All right, we're gonna come back into chair. So take your arms, sweep them up, and then sit your hips back. Chair pose. All right, from chair, you're gonna take these right toes. We're gonna sweep them open toward where the back end of your mat would be, and we're gonna slide into a goddess pose. Staying low on this left leg, gonna slide your feet back together. Sit in your chair. Again, toes open, slide into your goddess, slide back toward that left foot, and sit. One more. Sweep it open, find your goddess. We're gonna hang here, hands to your thighs, and rock a little bit side to side, because we all like a little distraction every now and then. Lengthen your tailbone down, pull your low belly in, take your arms, stretch them up. Try to keep your knees opening out away from each other, like we're swimming. Knees are swimming. Inhale here. When you exhale, you're gonna take your hands to the floor, open the heels away from each other, find your way into a mild Prasarita Padottanasana. Check out your head. From here, you're gonna walk your hands back toward that left foot. Spin now, so we're back into our lunge. Here we go. From here, you're gonna take your right hand out to the side a bit, take your right foot and sweep it over to the outside. So I'll show you from the side. We're here, right? Right hand comes out, you're gonna sweep your right foot to the outside. So we end up like in this kind of goofy Vashisthasana type deal, right? That's it. Then you're gonna sweep it out and around, coming back into your lunge. Drag that right leg in, Uttanasana. Inhale halfway, exhale and fold. Press into your feet, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Hands to prayer. We come back to chair. Arms out and up, sink. This time we're gonna shift onto that right foot, open the left toes, sweep them out to the left. Find your goddess, Shift back to the right, drag it in, and chair, and open out into your goddess. Sweep it back to the right foot, and sit. One more. We're gonna hang in this goddess. So when you get there, take a second, bring your hands to your thighs, and rock a little bit back and forth. All right, and then scoop your tailbone under. Try to sit as tall as you can. Take your arms up. Inhale. When you exhale, fold, bop your heels out. Little mini prasarita. Let yourself hang here. You got it. And you're going to walk back toward your right toes. Pivot, so we're back into our lunge. Left hand's going to move out to the left a bit. Fingertips open to the left. Sweep this left leg underneath. Come into a little side planky thing. And then we're going to sweep back into our lunge. And then drag it in for Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale and release. Plant your hands, slide it back into plank. Inhale. And when you exhale, we're gonna lower it down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Flatten yourself out, baby cobra, or a higher version of said cobra. Inhale. And then exhale, lower yourself down. Gonna lift your hips, slide your knees underneath you. Come to rest for a moment in a child's pose. If child's pose feels really brutal, you can always take a comfortable seat, Sukhasana. Close your eyes. We're just gonna find a place where we can really relax. And breathe. And then from here, you're gonna slowly come on up. All right, so we're gonna work one more little bit of funk before we close for the day. All right, so we're gonna do a slidey headstand thing. And if that's not comfortable for you, I'll show you a place to stop, right? So what the best plan of action here is to have a completely covered, I'm regretting my choice of shirt, but maybe if I tuck it in, you wanna have no skin on the front of your body showing. Because we're gonna slide our entire body, right? So if you wanna grab a blanket for this one, I'd forgotten to tell you about it because I had forgotten about doing it. But we're gonna do a zombie press into a headstand. You know, or you can just watch. I'll show you the first step, all right? So you're gonna lay out, blanket in front. You don't need a blanket if you don't practice with a blanket. I practice with one, so I definitely need it. So what we're gonna work here is just taking your hands under the blanket, and just the first thing we do is kind of press your hands into the mat, and we're gonna drag in and find a sphinx. Push into your hands and lengthen back out. Press into your hands, drag into sphinx, press back, flatten out. One more, drag in, okay? And then press back out. So if you find this part difficult, then stay with this. There's nothing wrong with working up to this because this is pretty challenging. And I'm just sneaking it in at the last minute because I thought about it. So the next step 2, is to drag yourself in through sphinx, lift your elbows, and lift up here. Okay, so now my elbows are almost 90 degrees, my head, top of the head's on the mat, and then you can drop your elbows, stretch back out. And again, drag in. When you get here, lift your elbows, drag your knees in. Okay, that takes a little bit of thought. So we're gonna do one more. Drag in, lift your elbows, slide in. Okay, that's it. Round 3. Before we get to where we're going, you're gonna be exhausted. I hope you're doing okay. Stop at any point and just do what works for you. This is what it's for. I'm just here to kind of throw things at you, okay? So we're gonna drag in, lift your elbows, come on up, and see if you can get your knees or your elbows on your knees. Tops of the feet to the mat. Slide it down and out, okay? Little tripod. In, lift your elbows, plant your head, and down, boom, and boom. One more. Okay, and this can be the end of the road for you, right? Gaze forward, you got this. This is badass, let's do it. Boop, okay, boom, boom, and boom. Okay, so listen, if you don't have a strong headstand practice, stopping at tripod and figuring out where your head needs to land, the geometry of having your, listen to me, probably saying that wrong, having your hands where they need to be, your head, this perfect triangle, play with that. Because if you don't have a strong headstand practice, this is probably not the way to learn it. Not the best way to learn it. It's not the slowest, most exact process, but we're gonna go all the way up. So if you're with me and you wanna try it, here we go. Hands underneath the blanket, grip the floor. Take a deep breath. Let's do this shit. Gonna slide forward, plant it in. All right, bring your legs up. Oh, I lost my momentum. See if you can. Slowly, come on up. When you're ready to come down, ideally it's a little more graceful. We slide down, boom. All right, you wanna try that again? I think I have one more. I might have one more in me. You might too. If you're done, then you can just kind of plop on the floor and laugh when I don't get up so easily. Okay. Here we go. Drag it in. Plant. Okay. There we go. If you lose your momentum, you're dusted. Come on up. And then slowly, see if you can pike back down. There we go. Tops of the feet. Slide it down. And go ahead, grab that blanket. Bring it underneath you. Take a minute. Snuggle with your blanket. Snuggle on the floor. Maybe bring your head to the other side. You may have gone off the rails just a hair, but that's okay. So you can grab this blanket, if you've got one, flatten it out a little bit more, and you're just gonna roll over onto your back. Feet flat on the floor. Take your arms out to the sides. Okay, now you're gonna interlace your fingers. Take them to the back of your head, like you were gonna do a sit-up in gym class. And then you're gonna keep the hands where they are. Well, that's kind of not how you say it, but I'm just gonna pull my right elbow over to the right. And doing so is gonna kind of slide my head over the left. And then I'm gonna pull my right elbow. So pull your right elbow over to the left. And as you do, it kind of spins your head to the right. And we're just gonna do that a couple of times. So it's your arms that are kind of inspiring the movement instead of the muscles in your neck. One more time to the other side. And then back to that other side. Bring yourself through the middle, and then you're going to take your thumbs right along the sides of your neck to the base of your skull. Give yourself a little massage there. And then you're going to lift your head so this little fat part of your thumb comes right underneath your occiput there. Right? You're going to hug underneath the ridge of your base of your skull and give yourself just a little traction. And then set your head down on the floor. Take your arms out to the sides. Let your knees flop to the right. And then back up through the middle. Let your knees flop over to the left. And then back up through the middle, and then you can just let your legs slide out. And Feel your shoulder blades settle back underneath you. Take a few breaths here. Relax into the floor. And if you have the time, really rest here. There's a lot of movement, a lot of push and pull. So just breathe, feel your muscles release. And from here, you're going to start to move your fingers, wiggle your toes, and slide your feet in. Give yourself a hug. And roll to one side and press yourself up. Make your way into a comfortable seat. Take a moment here to let your eyes slide closed, to untuck your shirt if you'd like. And bow your head and take a moment to honor your body and your breath for moving you through. Honor the blocks that helped you along the way, and honor your courage and your commitment to try something new and different, even if it isn't easy and even if there isn't 100% success rate every time, right? It's how we go. So thank you for spending your time with me today. Enjoy the rest of your day. I look forward to practicing with you again. As always, like, subscribe, share with a friend. There's a bunch of other videos, all of the rest of them with mats involved and no zombie presses. So check it out. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Namaste.